All right. Hello. Going to get started here in just a moment. We'll have a little bit of fun today playing with the Berry website. Thank you so much for joining. If you've been coming to some of these live streams over the past few months, just want to say a shout out to you, everybody who is an early supporter of Berry. I mean, I myself am an early supporter of Berry and then joined the team a little bit closer to when they launched. So I'm excited to be here, be a part of it too. If you are here and you have questions, feel free to hop in chat. Love to try and answer some questions for you. We looks like Nick might be in chat as well. May have some of the other guys in chat, so you can always throw some questions in there. Let us know what you think of the new site. And if you haven't had a chance to use it yet, we're going to go over there right now. Let me just switch our windows and go over to Berry. And the page that I have up right now, this is the perpetuals trading page here. So this is what it's going to look like. We are, going to be upgrading it over time if we find things that can be improved, of course. But this is what it's going to look like. It's pretty spectacular right now. I do love a lot of the features that the devs have included here. I'm going to try and go over a couple of things that we haven't really talked a lot about yet in the stream. So, oh, and Nick just said in chat they are looking to launch this perpetual trading page in the next few days, which is fantastic. For me, I'm excited whenever it comes. It's looking really good. I'm really glad that they've spent the time to really polish this thing out. It's just, yeah, I'm going to show you a couple of the things here, too, that we haven't had a chance to really go into yet. If you were on stream on Friday, we went over the website. The new user interface launched last week, and so swaps are live, staking is live on here. We went over some of that in the stream last week. Might take a look at the staking again today if we have time. And so you can go here right now, connect your wallet to staking, to trading, to swaps, things like that. Still swap, cross chain, whatever you want to do. The swaps are fantastic. If you've been around Berry for a little bit, you already know this, you love it. So let's take a look here, though, at the perpetuals. And if you are joining us for the first time, thank you so much for being here. This is BerrieDex. You can go to it right now, BERR.IE. That is the home for all Berry products and the centralized hub for all future products that we will be launching, including things like prediction markets and integrated wallet, things like this. So check out those as they come up, but be looking for the perpetual market to launch later this week, which is pretty sweet. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is the grid today. And this is going to be, if you are doing a lot of trading, especially if you want to trade larger amounts on Berry, this is going to be a really, really handy tool for you. And if you've seen some of the previous streams, you know that we have a lot of really fantastic trading tools already built in, with more on the way, and the ability for you to make some of your own as well eventually here. All your information, your buy sell tab here, over here on the right hand side. This is your setup. It is customizable. You can move things around, and this little star over here on the Berry chart that you see, this is going to be your quick hub for algorithmic trading things when they come. So you can click on that and do it. I can just show you real quick. It looks like this, and then this is going to give you some of your algorithm. So stay tuned for that. This little star next to it here is your switch to trading view chart. I prefer this right now because I just like the dark mode. You can switch to light mode if you want, of course. That's going to be in your settings up here. Just go boom. It's an affront to me personally, but hey, no judgment if you like it. I'm a vampire, so I'm going to stick with the dark mode here. Now, getting back to the order types here, this is what I really want to talk about today. You've got your order book right here that you can adjust, but your order types, we've already given you, some really nice, you've got your standard, market, limit, IOCs, FOKs, post only, and then you can just go for the ask or bid if you want to put something into the order book that way. Now, all of the other settings are going to interact with those order types. Some have specific order types. For example, if you're in a market order and you come down here and you want to do a DCA, we have that built in for you. That's going to switch you over to a limit order when you go back up. So just as an example of something, we're trying to build in as many safety features, especially for those of you who are newer to trading, so that you can get right in there. You can do some more advanced trading right away, which is fantastic, and learn as you go. Check out the wiki for more information about that too, of course. We've gone over this before in the stream, but just as a quick little reminder, you've got that ad protection, and the stop loss take profit for the automated trading, this is built in, and it will tell you that. Like when I clicked on the DCA, it says down here on the bottom what the template for those things is. Same thing if you go for a scalp or a safe entry, and these are just quick setup ones. Now, if you want to do that manually, you can, of course, adjust this, and that's going to adjust for you in the market with the order when you click on that. You can adjust your leverage. I don't have any open positions right now, so I can't adjust my leverage because there's nothing there. But the main thing that I want to bring your attention to today, and there's the advanced strategies, you can see that, you've got a few things there that you can use already, and we're going to be adding to that. But the grid trading, and you have the button for it right here at the bottom. I want to bring this up so you can see this. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what this is a way to put orders into the market at different intervals. You can adjust both, where your entries are, your take profits based on how many levels you want, how much your total investment is, things like that. So for example, this is just the default right now based on current price. Current price is 90, almost 91 here. So we can set based on our own trading strategies. Like for example, if you're a long-term trader like me and you just want to place some orders on some fibs down the market, things like that, you can do that right here. Now I have this set to grids, 15 grid levels. You can set this anything between 2 and 20 right now. So I'm going to set 15 here. Now, of course, when this is live, you're going to be able to connect your wallet, self-custody. You can enter these orders with your self-custody funds, and this will all go into the market for you. You can adjust this, of course, once it's in there as well. So I'm going to go over just how to set this up for you, especially for those of you who are unfamiliar with this. But this is a really, really handy tool. I'm super excited to be using this myself. If you've used some of the third-party services before that allow you to do this kind of thing, it's a very, very nice tool to have. But third-party services I have personally had issues with before. This is built in. There's going to be no issues with API pings, things like that. This is very, very nice. So this is all built into Berry, which is one of the many advantages that BerrieDex has over both centralized and other decentralized exchanges that I've used in the crypto space over the years. So this is pretty fantastic. Now, let's set a lower limit. So price is at 90. Let's assume it's not going to go down a lot. So I'm thinking we're not going to hit 86 here. So I think maybe I want to put orders down the market to 85. Okay, 88.5 here. And then up the market, I'm looking for us to come back up and test 100 to 101,000 here. So I'm just going to do a couple even numbers. We'll pop that in. Total investment, set this to the total amount of USDC that you're going to be using for your grid order, right? So whatever you're using, whether it's, 10,000, it's going to tell you how much per grid level. And of course, when you adjust your grid level, it's going to adjust the amount per grid level for you as well there. So very intuitive, easy to use. This is the whole point here. So you can set your grid to whatever you want and then the amount. So let's say we're putting in 30,000 here and we want to do the 15 like I had here. Okay, I have a long bias set, and that's in this case probably what I would do. At the end of this, we're going to take a look at markets, though, and I will give you my actual thoughts as we normally do during these streams, so do not take this currently as an endorsement of anything. I'm just showing you how it works. All right. Uh, so we have a long bias. You could have a short bias or even a neutral bias here, depending on what you're after. And a neutral bias is going to be more just a range trading sort of strategy here. But with the long bias here, you can see how many we have per grid down here in the little drop down, where it's putting our sell orders, even intervals throughout the market to take profit on those purchases, right? So you can see how it goes down there. It's going to buy down here, and then it's going to go up and start selling there. So a quick way to enter orders into the market, both buy and sell, especially in a fast moving market, and especially for those of you if you are looking at, a much tighter spread, for example. You want to do some stuff where you're trading the intraday movement of the market. This is a really fantastic tool. You can activate down there. That's the button to activate the strategy that you set up. So you can play around with this. Like I said, let's actually do the maximum number of levels here with a long bias, and then let's get it really, really tight. Let me just take a look here at kind of the intraday so I can have a sense of this for us real quick. What are we looking at today? We're going to talk about the market open, close, of course, the yearly. All right, so intraday we've got 89 up to about 92 here. Cool. And then we could look at a lower time frame for that. So I'm going to go 90. And let me know. Let's see. Let me know if you guys are seeing any issue. I'm seeing a possible YouTube error on my end. So if you guys are not getting smooth video or audio, let me know here. All right, I'll check chat. But anyway, I'm going to continue with this, assuming you guys can see and hear me here. All right, so with the long bias here and the 30,000, on the tight spread, we're going to go down to 90, just under the high of the day here. So we're going to go down to a 92, 90 to 92. So yeah, we can, okay, thanks, good. I don't know what that is then that YouTube is telling me here, so. All right, I'm going to ignore it for now. So anyway, we're going down here, and we've got the tight intraday spread now. And like I said, do this as tight as you want. You can see the grid visualization information right here on it. So intraday here, if we're trying to buy as the price comes down a little bit, and then start selling as it comes back up. So maybe only a few of these trigger, but you can see if you get a quick down, especially if we're not expecting a lot of volatility outside the daily range, you can see how valuable a tool like this is to quickly enter some spread trades throughout the market. If you have questions about this, hop in Discord, talk to us about this. This is a very, very cool tool, and there's a lot you can do with it. I'm not going to try and explain everything to you right now. It's definitely something you can learn more about and chat with us about, but this is huge, and you can see how this is just placing it into the market for you. So if you're trying to if you're trying to trade the daily volatility, this is your tool. And this is just absolutely fantastic. If we switch it over to a short bias here, or actually, let's take a look at the neutral for a second. And then I'm going to reset this to 10. All right. You can see now the difference in price and how it's changed the entries in the market a little bit for us. So super simple, really nice to see this. And this is going, it's neutral. So we're not buying more, we're not selling more. This is an even spread on either side of the market here. That's what that is. Profits from sideways movement, it even says it right below there. So this is the grid tool. Get in here, play around with this before futures go live later this week, and give it a try for yourself, especially on days where there's tighter volatility, we're not expecting huge movements. This is your tool for capitalizing on those, much larger spreads in volatility, that exist in crypto versus traditional markets. So have some fun here with this tool. That is the grid tool, just a quick example of it. So let us know what you think. One of the many more advanced trading tools that we are trying to make so that even beginning traders are going to be able to use. And this is one of the things we're super excited to introduce to the market for you. Let us know if that makes sense. Let us know if you have questions about that and any of the other orders in there. This is your BTC chart on Berry. I'm going to take a look at the order book here again for you. If you haven't seen this before, this just shows you the order book and the liquidity that we have here right now. Nice, looks good. It flips back to the center. So if you're looking at this, in the big view, for example, and you don't want to get lost up in the book. Oh yeah, give me a second. My internet is obviously having an issue today. It's pretty stormy out here, so we're getting a lot of wind and rain. I'm lucky I haven't lost power yet. And let me know if you can still hear me, chat, because I am getting that issue on my end. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to it. All right. Okay, good. Okay, well, I'm having issues on my end, so I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can still see and hear me here. All right, let's go over to the staking here for a second because we did check that out last time and I want to go back over it. That's what I wanted to show you though, is the grid feature there on the Perpetual platform. If you haven't used grid or other more advanced order types before, check out the wiki because it has information about those. And, you can go over that, see some of the different strategies that are involved in using those kinds of order types. Try it out, small capital at first just to get the hang of it. Like I said, if you have questions about them, ask us in Discord or, talk to us in some of these chats as well or on socials. If we have time to answer some of these more intricate questions about trading, we are happy to do it. It is something we like to teach when we have time, for sure. If you were on the last stream, I just want to point out that I staked a little bit of Berry from this account just to show you how that works. I want to stake a little bit more today from this account. I only have a little bit of Berry in this because this is just for making videos. And let's see, do I still have my... Oh no. All right, I got to connect my wallet real quick to do this. So, and I'm using Phantom. Eventually, we are going to have a built-in wallet on BerrieDex. So still self-custody for you, but a Berry native wallet. That's going to be really nice when that is live as well. So keep an eye out for that. That is coming after the full site is up and running. And there's a pop-up when you go to berr.ie right now. It says the progress on the website. So if you haven't visited that, go check it out. You can see the progress. You can see the updates happening. You can see what's happening daily on BerrieDex. So something really nice that they've put in there just so that you have an idea of what the team is working on. All right. So I'm talking, I'm not connecting my wallet, sorry. Wallet is now logged in. All right. And then I'm going to refresh. Here we go. Okay, so it staked that for me, you can see here. I have 2 active positions now, and this is why I wanted to show you this, okay? Because when you go to your unstake now, each time you stake new berry, it's a new instance of staking, okay? So this is really convenient if, you've staked some that you want to use for a swap, for example. You can go in, you can unstake that small amount, use it for a swap, restake, things like that when you're ready. You can also then stake your rewards as they come out. So for all of your staked berry that you're earning rewards on, looks like total locked value right now is at about 3.16 million berry. Pretty great. Love that. Still above actually launch. Launch value of locked berry was, I forget exactly now, but I think it was down like 2.8, 2 point something. So we have a nice increase. It looks like stakers are, restaking their berry as it's being distributed, which is fantastic to see. A lot of confidence in the platform that you see right there. But this is what I wanted to point out to you here is the berry staking instances. So if you need to unstake something, each one is its own instance. So when I did that one, for example, I have 27 days until full reward unlock, which, obviously that one's been there for a little while, so I wouldn't really want to unstake that. But if I have a small amount here that I need for something to swap, then I can use that, which is really nice. So this is each individual instance of staking is going to be there so that you can see it, and then you'll be able to see the rewards claim for each of those as well as it becomes available. And for those of you, if you are new, if you haven't seen it before, the staking rewards, you can buy berry anywhere, swap for it anywhere that it's available. You can get it everywhere. You can come to the website, you can stake it right here. No matter what wallet you have, just connect your wallet in there and you can do the staking just like you saw me. Choose the amount, click stake, super simple. And then you are getting rewards on your staked berry every 72 hours based on your activity on berry and everybody else's on chain, on the website, on the DEX, on swaps, all of it, on the perpetuals, on the prediction markets, right? So stake some berry if you haven't already to earn those rewards. You're getting the rewards out every 72 hours, and all rewards are non-inflationary. So this is a huge thing. If, you can check out the tokenomics, you can see it for yourself. It's all there, but I just want to talk about it real quick before we go take a look at markets today. With berry, we are not minting new berry. The rewards come from the total supply. All of this is auditable. You can see right here if you want to view the contract, view the soul scan right there. We've got the buttons for you. You can check it out. You can see founders locks, all that kind of stuff. We have long-term locks on founders tokens, and you can see all the wallets right there and what's happening with it. So it's really, really nice. You've got full audit, and you can see that we are truly decentralized. And that's going to become far more important over the next few years. There's a lot of claims out there about decentralization that you're going to see blow up in the next few years. I'm not going to name any names right now, but it's, you know them. So this is one of the other reasons we are delivering Berry to you as a platform that we want to use, because these are the problems we've seen in the market over the years that we are solving for everybody. So happy to have you here. So happy to take advantage of that with you. If you didn't get a chance to see the beginning of the video, go back and check it out. I was going over grid trading using the grid button on our perpetuals platform. We're going to go over and take a look at markets now. I'm going to try and keep this one snappy because I say that all the time and then I end up talking for an hour and a half. But thank you so much for joining today for our Monday market close. If you are just joining, we went over, just took a look at the perpetual trading page. The perpetual markets are going live later this week, and we took a look at the grid feature. It's in view only mode right now, so you can go in there and check it out as well. Just you can go to view only. You won't be able to connect a wallet right now because it's not live yet, but you can connect your wallet to staking, to swaps, all that stuff. So all of that is live, and the pop-up when you first visit BerrieDex.ie is going to tell you all of that as well. But just wanted to give you a little heads up on it. So yeah, when it goes live later this week, you can start using that grid feature for yourself and trying out some of the different order types that we're giving you. So very excited to get involved and do that myself, and hope you all have a great time using the perpetual markets when they go live later this week. For those of you that haven't staked yet, like I said, get some Berry, start taking advantage of all the activity that's going to be going through the perpetuals market and the activity that's already going through Berry Chain right now. All right, so we showed you staking as well and how each staking instance is a new instance. We've got the warning so you won't make mistakes and accidentally unstake before you mean to. So if you can stake, go for it. But just to show you that staking is never locked, you can always do this. This is one more of the, auditable features that we want. So many platforms out there, they don't let you unstake the tokens that you stake for, X amount of time, but you'll see this is going to go through in just a moment, and then you'll see the wallet balance change here as well. Thank you so much for joining me. If all you care about is Berry itself, we're going to move into markets in just a moment there. And there you go. There's the switch. So now I just have the one instance again of Berry staked in the wallet there. You can see unstaking successful. I forfeited those rewards, and that's okay. I'll stake it again. But that's just an example of, a safety feature for those of you who are staking. We want you to feel confident. We want you to feel safe. We want you to know that we are building this to be the platform of the future for decentralized trading. And we're very excited to bring it to you. So get out there, start using Berry yourself. I'm going to switch over to some markets right now, and let's see what the market is doing and if we've got some opportunities. Thank you so much for joining me for these regular fireside chats. I enjoy them. I hope you enjoy them. I like checking out the new features as the dev team is rolling them out. All right. Let's get this in here and pull up a Bitcoin chart. Yeah, and if it's glitchy, I do apologize. My internet is having some trouble in the storms today in this part of the world. So hopefully it looks better on your end than it does on mine. All right. Now, taking a look at Bitcoin, I have the monthly chart up here. Yeah, it's not doing much at the moment. We popped back up. We've kind of been bouncing around between that 88, 93 area for a few days here. Nothing much has changed on the monthly chart. Obviously, there's been no new month, and no significant price movement on that chart. So for those of you that have seen the streams before, you know kind of how I feel about this, but basically the previous month tells me to be very cautious, tighter stop losses on any long positions. Oh yeah, just got a notification that this about the stuff I'm doing is slowing me down. So, all right. So this candle here, this previous monthly candle for November, is just telling me to be very cautious, especially in long positions. It's kind of a do not trade long positions without a tight stop loss. That's basically what this candle is telling me. Nothing has changed about that. Overall, trading resistances as a short position with a reasonable stop loss has still been a safer bet for the past week or two, with a few exceptions. Okay. Let's see. Now, let's take a look at the lower chart here. Okay. So you can see we've been trying to recover a little bit. Recovery on, lower volume than these 3 weeks where we had a downtrend for sure. But not seeing anything really, positive there. We've got this little kind of spinning top candle on the weekly there. Don't love that. We've been unable to break the high of that yet. So, it is very possible that we're going to come back down here again, testing this lower area. Like I said last time, I really would prefer that we don't break back below this low from the previous week, but given that weekly candle, it is definitely in play. Let's take a look. If we do manage to come up and break the top of the previous week there, though, let's see. We're looking at that. 91. Let's see, what have we got here? 91.2, yeah. If we can break that, then I do expect to see 100K for sure. So that would be an interesting place to then trade any pullback up to that 100,000 level. That being said, we are on a downtrend on the weekly currently. The EMAs have flipped, so higher confidence once we're above those, but obviously reversals happen down here, so look for a reason for it. On this high time frame, obviously, you can see last time we had a dip where we went back to 75, had that nice retrace from the first highs when we came above 100. You can see how it stayed down there for a while, so we could spend the rest of the year down here, close below the yearly even, and then come back up into the 100,000 range. I can certainly see that as a possibility. Let's see here. So we're trading kind of into daily resistance over and over here, but we do keep trading into it. I'm looking at the Binance chart right now. I'm going to take a look here at the OBV on the daily for a second. So I do like this little structure on the OBV where we've had kind of some equal lows and we're trying to get out of it. So if we could just break this local downtrend, then we should see, and we're kind of right at it again at the moment, we should see then a pop-up from there. Still, very, very just uncertain about a true recovery after that, but if we can break this little downtrend on volume, we should see a pop-up towards that 100K level. So I'll be watching that for sure. That's something I recommend checking out for yourself and watching. But we are getting those equal lows and some higher lows here, which is nice to see. Hopefully we can get a higher low on that OBV in the next couple of days. But if we do continue to reject from here, stop losses at those previous highs are very reasonable right now. I think you could even, cut it a little closer and you could say stop losses around 93.5. But if you want to be a little more conservative, I would do this secondary low personally, because if it does come back up to those highs, I would expect it to go higher. So, but yeah, let's see what that, let's draw a little line there and find out what that actually is. Boom. Okay, so 94.08 on Binance. But that is, just to point it out to you, that is the 4th of December candle. That's what that candle is. So the high of that is what I'm looking at as the stop loss right now, on a short position. But the market is in one of those, it's still, we've been talking about this for days now. It's in a limbo place where it's trading back and forth. And this is actually a perfect example for those of you who were watching the earlier part of the video. If you were watching the grid view that we were checking out, this is where you can be using that grid trading strategy, where you can use that order type to place the orders up and down the market. Say you want to trade today and yesterday's range, that 87.8 up to the 92.3-ish. you can put that in, put your grid levels in, your total amount of capital that you're using, and you're going to collect buys as price comes down and sells as it comes up. So you're just going to profit off that volatility. And I mean, that's the majority of time, that's what's happening in crypto, not the trending market conditions. The trending market conditions are wonderful when you're on the right side of them, but the majority of time, you can be making a profit from trading the ranges that exist. So that's what that grid tool is going to do for you, and this is a perfect example of where you can use it. So have some fun with that. Let's see. I want to take a look at intraday real quick. But yeah, just to kind of clarify what I'm saying here is I see short positions as a little bit safer until we can come up and break above, at least back above the POC here for this area, which is at 91,335. I want to see price trading above that to feel any confidence in long positions, or I want to see price come down, take out this low at the 87 and create a new low. That's where I would be looking for a long position personally, is in that area, down near this previous volume shelf with kind of an apex just around 87-ish. So price dips a little below that. Nice. That's something I would be looking to buy for sure. I would not be looking to buy this right here personally. If you have a setup that says, more power to you. But this looks like a short setup with stop losses up here in the 94 area to me. That's what we're looking at intraday. All right. That's my thought on Bitcoin for right now. High time frame, we are still in a bullish market, but we've had a big pullback and we are ranging right now, and the market is trying to build up some support to get back up or come a little bit lower to find a bid. This is still very much can go either way from this position, and we're coming into the end of the year with the yearly close after a significant uptrend throughout this year. So I don't foresee anything really huge happening, but I do foresee, like I've been saying, this 85 level and anything, plus or minus 2K around that as a really good place to be building up spot position or longer term low leverage position if you have the risk appetite for that. Otherwise, intraday, like I'm saying, I do see the potential for a short position over the next day or two back down into that 87, 85 area. All right. And hey, I could be wrong, and that's what the stop loss is for. And that's why we have the stop losses built in for you on Berry when you start using those perpetual markets. I don't have a lot of other thoughts on markets right now. I want to kind of focus on Bitcoin because the rest of the market's going to do the same. You can kind of see like altcoins when Bitcoin is stable are bouncing a little bit faster. So you can take advantage of that. Altcoins are always a trade only. They are not investments in my opinion. And they almost never have been. And just to kind of demonstrate why I'm saying that to you, let's just take a look at, I like Ethereum, don't get me wrong. But it's actually, I'm doing it the wrong way here. Trying to talk and do things at the same time. So let's look at this chart. This is a monthly for Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are moments where you can take advantage of the pairing. And if you are trying to trade an asset against BTC, you need to be looking at the charts for the pairing. But, Ethereum, it has gained against Bitcoin overall since its very beginning back in 15, but not a ton, and it hasn't for anyone that got into it for the majority of its life. It's only people who got in above current price that have technically made more in a 10-year period, when you could have been taking advantage of the rise in Bitcoin and Ethereum separately, and the rise in Bitcoin specifically versus everything else in the crypto market, with the exception of exchange tokens. So that's what I'm talking about. You've got to look at that ratio the majority of the time. And overall, Ethereum is flat or even down versus Bitcoin. So keep this in mind. Now we are in a little bit of an uptrend right now, so there's a potential for Ethereum to move up a little bit faster. And of course, intraday, it often is. I prefer to trade Bitcoin because that it's a little bit more stable until it starts to trend and then it goes wild. But that's a personal preference, you know. You do what you want to do. But that's what I'm talking about when I say, you know, these are not investments. That's what I mean. Let's take a look at the ES here. We're still up at the highs. Let's take a look here. Yeah, just like we were talking about the other day, I wasn't really expecting to come up and test the highs. We haven't yet. There's been a lot of effort to get us up here, so I don't know. I read you know, a fun theory. Maybe all you if you're in chat there, you wanna give your opinion on it. I'd be interested. But very famous investor, Stanley, right? Is his name? What's the last name? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But very famous investor said there's a simple trading strategy and cycle that you should always follow. And I highly encourage you to go and do the chart on this, do the math on it, see for yourself what you think if you haven't looked at it yet. But it's based on, you know, U.S. markets and U.S. presidential cycles. Essentially, the theory is buy 2 years before the general election, sell the general election, because the markets tend to have their best returns in the 2 years leading up to a general election, of course, where the party in charge wants to look good. This will be an interesting one, you know, the next round of general elections, so very curious to see if this continues to play out. But it has a very interesting history to it if you go back and you look at the chart. So curious your thoughts on that, if you have any, or if you've seen that theory before. But based on that theory, essentially, the idea would be buying U.S. markets next year, holding into the general election, and selling right before. So interesting. Something I'm going to be keeping an eye on for sure. And that's going to wrap it up for me for the moment. Thank you so much for joining me for this Monday stream, guys. Tried to keep this one a little bit quicker for you. If you didn't have a chance to see the beginning of the video, like I said, we were taking a look at the BerrieDex platform, BERR.IE, and we went over the grid trading. We're checking that out on the perpetuals market. Perpetuals market is going live this week. So get in there, check it out. It's in view mode right now, so you can look around. You can test out some of these different order types. And then we will do a stream when those go live so you can see it in action as well. Very excited to be doing that. But you can go in and you can use the swap feature. You can use the staking feature. You can do all that, cross-chain swaps, on-chain swaps, all of it. Get some Berry through there. We are giving you the best exchange rate on Berry and everything else that I've tried versus all of my swap wallets. So get in there and try that as well. See what you think. And like I said, stake some Berry before perpetuals go live so you can be earning real yield on 100% of the fees generated through the Berry platform. Thank you so much for supporting Berry, being a part of this, and joining me for these streams to chat a little bit. We will be doing another stream later this week. I'll let you know as soon as we know what day we're going to be doing that, but probably Thursday or Friday. Check it out at the end of the week. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all out there